So now I'm going to do the 360s. Really challenge yourself to be able to land and jump out of awkward positions. So right here, the quick. Now I'm going to try a couple power jumps with it. As you can tell, it's not easy. It makes your jump very inconsistent because of the way you land. It'll really help emphasize being able to jump in the game out of that awkward position. Now we're going to do explosion chair touch finishes. The emphasis we're doing on this is making sure we stay low to the ground when we have our step towards the basket. It's really important, that exaggerated first step, that long first step, keeping our hips low so we can explode up out of it. We're going to show you the drill. So this is our chair touch finish. All we're going to do is take that long step, make sure we get low. We have a tap on the chair right here, and then we're stepping right into our jump. We're going to show you what it looks like. We're trying to stretch out as far as we can. We're going to try to finish on the opposite side of the basket. That was our chair jump finishes, really working on getting our hips low and exploding out of it. On this one, we're stretching as far as we could to the opposite side of the basket.
You've probably heard the phrase, perfect practice makes perfect. And if you've heard that phrase, that means you might have bought into a lie, because that's not how this thing works. I've played a lot of different levels, and I've trained players at a lot of different levels, from the NBA down to grassroots. And I can tell you one thing, I've played and seen players that have 40+ inch verticals, but they can't jump in a game. I've had players on my team where I could throw a lob to, knowing they should be able to dunk because he's got a 46-inch vertical, but he can't get to it. Why? Because he had to stutter his feet. He had to get his feet perfect. And that's not gonna work in an imperfect game. I've played with players who had to drive down the lane and they had the ability to dunk on anybody. But because the situation didn't fit, because they always practiced in a perfect environment, they couldn't finish in an imperfect game. See, this is about teaching you how to play and jump and finish in an imperfect game. That's why if you're going to be ready for an imperfect game, you got to get a little bit of imperfect practice. You got to test your body and put your body in places that it's actually going to experience in the game. So this isn't about you being able to jump. This isn't about you being able to get your feet right and be able to get to the rim and dunk it. If that's what you want, go to the playground. Go to a dunk contest. You're not going to be a ball player. But if you want to have the ability to jump and finish at the rim in a game, then you got to get a little imperfect practice in your training. There's two types of 1-2 steps when we attack the basket. The normal 1-2 step is my inside foot, outside foot combination, where I'm going to plant inside, outside. That kind of footwork allows me to jump straight up quickly or even fade away quickly. But if I switch that and I do an outside, inside, it powers me up for a better finish. It puts me in more of a jumping, aggressive stance to get to the rim. So now it's not necessarily a great way to jump up or back, but it's a phenomenal way to jump to the rim. So this is a way to gallop into your stops to get powerful stretching finishes. So we're going to break down in our MJ Hang Time series. We're always going to stretch forward. We're going to limit ourselves to 1 dribble and 2 steps just to simulate the ending of that drive. So So if I'm driving right now, I'm gonna dribble right, left, and have to hang in the air to my finish, and we'll slowly move our way back. So here's the drill. We want to play and train in exaggerations, challenging our body to float and hang in the air. Now, if you can dunk on this, dunk on it. But really, we're gonna have you end up jumping so far out that more than likely, you're just gonna have to hang until you can get to the rim. So as we start from the middle cone, that means we have 2 steps and we have to jump. Then we'll start from the back cone where we have 2 steps, right, left, and we gotta jump. And finally, we'll start deep, seeing how far we can stretch from basically the free throw line. Your job is to just simply get as far as you can. Always need to finish at the glass. Now, if you're a young player, then these all might be moved in a little bit. So you have to gauge where you set up based on your level. Let's take a look. Now we'll start a little bit back. Perfect. Always try to make sure you jump from that spot, not past it if you can help it. Now let's see how far we can stretch. And that's your MJ Hang Time series. Now this matters for a reason. You don't always have extra space to jump from. Now obviously if it's a clear lane, you can get every bit of vertical you have. But if it's a crowded lane, then you have to jump at a moment. That means you might have to be able to jump with limited space. So the Hang Time series allows you to work on jumping from a specific point as if you're in a crowd. Give that a shot. For our gap finishes series off our MJ Hang Times, now we're working on our same footwork, which we call a galloping power 1-2. So if I have to take multiple dribbles to get to this spot, I'm gonna go a right, left into my finish. Now this position right here allows me to go shoulder first or just really seal a defender on my back to be able to finish and get to the glass. So everything is gonna be going to the right, right, left. What Bryce and I are gonna do is we're gonna go straight to the right down this side and then to the right down this side. Now obviously if we go left, it's gonna be left, right. For lack of time, we can only show you one side. So we're favoring you right-handers today. But if we have to jump from this spot, I still have to have the ability to drive here, but jump there. So this is really gonna stretch your ability to jump and get to the rim from distances. Let's take a look. And that's our gap finishing series, to be able to drive into the paint, but being able to finish at the basket off that footwork.
Imperfect training for an imperfect game. That's what we're about to work on here with our spike jump finishes. This is to help emphasize imperfect lobs, finishes where the ball's knocked out of your hand and you have to grab it back. Really working on that imperfect part, but still being able to finish whenever things go wrong. Next drill, we're gonna work on our ability to rebound the ball and quickly jump back up, a quick jump to finish. So all this is either yourself or a coach, a friend, can bounce the ball as high as they can. You're gonna time it, work on the timing aspect of rebounding, grabbing it with one hand, sweeping it to the other hand. Once we land, jumping back up as fast as we can, okay? So I'm bouncing it up. Right when I land, I'm right back up. Now you can go both hands. Go to the left hand. That movement was great for conditioning, as well as in-game reaction of rebounding and quickly jumping right back up to finish. Now we're going to be working on the same thing, just more of a reaction. We're gonna have our back towards the basket when we bounce the ball. So we're reacting fast to turn, find the ball, rebound it, and quick jump right back up. So right here. Now I was working on finding the ball, that quick reaction, turn around, just grabbing the ball as fast as you can, jumping up for the finish. So now I'm going to take you through this slowly. Your back is going to be facing the basket. You're going to bounce the ball, quickly tap the chair, and you have to find the ball wherever the ball is and catch it and finish it in the air. So then I'm going to show you what it looks like fast. That's really tiring, guys. It's a good workout, very difficult for body control and still being able to finish. Try it, you're gonna like it. This is our push-up reaction series, really emphasizing being able to explode up off the ground and jumping up out of a low position. So I'm gonna be down in push-up position. He's gonna drop the ball. After it bounces, I have to get to my feet before it bounces a second time. I have to pick up and explode out of that position for a finish.
Yep. Ball down.
And that was our push-up reaction breakdown. We're gonna do spike finishes out of our push-up reaction series. Really working on exploding up out of that push-up, finding the ball, finishing in the air, or also coming back to the ground and jumping back up and finishing. It's great for reaction, jumping, and finishing. Give it a try. In a game, you have to be able to drive one way and have the ability to change directions on a jump stop and still be able to finish. So if I'm driving to the cone, I have to be able to stop, change direction the other way, and still be able to finish. That's what we're going to show you. We're going to simulate our pro hop out of our push-up reaction series. Stop. Yo. Once again, that was our pro hop out of our push-up reaction series. So in a game situation, you have to be able to jump out of a pivot. If I'm driving to the middle here and I come to my 1-2 stop, if my defender stays on my inside foot, I have to be able to step around and still be able to jump out of that pivot off both feet at the same time. That's our step around pivot. We're gonna show you what it looks like. So this is our step around pivot out of our push-up reaction series. So I was working on jumping out of our pivot with our step around jump.
Let's do a breakdown of Kobe Bryant's game real quick, but this is a very common set of footwork now. I call it drop footwork. If the ball's in my left hand right now, and I'll show you this side because I'm a righty, and so you'll see where I'm going in a second. But if I have a defender maybe on his heels and I go into a drop into my shot, now my defender is probably going to crowd my right elbow. He's going to go for my shooting hand. And so if I have the ability to drop left, right, and they crowd me, that means my left foot's my pivot. And so now I have the ability, if they go, to back pivot and basically spin and leave them behind. But if you can do that footwork, but you haven't worked on your ability to jump from a pivot, you have nothing. So now that I've performed my pivot, now you have to have the ability to jump from that position to get your finish. So as a righty, I'm really gonna get my defender to crowd my ball so I can spin and back pivot around it. Let's take a look, game speed. And that's your Kobe Bryant drop into your back pivot. Try this on your own and see how effective it can be.
This drill is called backboard pass to finish. First one, we're gonna start out at the free throw line. All we're doing is passing it off the backboard, a chest pass. We're coming off the free throw line as fast as we can. So we're working on that first step quickness, exploding out as fast as we can. We're catching it. You can either finish with both hands or you can finish with either hand. Let's take a look at the drill. This is something you can really have some fun with. Work on your body control. Be creative with it. Now we're gonna do the outlet pass from the three-point line. It's this exact same concept, throwing it off the backboard, catching it and finishing. This is gonna help work on your quick explosion, being able to jump quickly off either foot, finishing either hand. Let's show you the drill. Woo. This is your chance to be creative, also work on your quickness. This is Jacob Tucker. You probably know me for my creative and acrobatic dunks and for winning the dunk contest. But what I want to show you is what it took me to get to that point. I never actually practiced dunks. That's not how I got my 50-inch vertical. I practiced in-game situations, working on my body control in ways that it would work in a game. The 50-inch vertical was just a byproduct of working extremely hard on game situations. The skill development jump program is designed to give you access to those workouts and those techniques that help get me to that point. The problem with most vertical jump programs is they're all done under perfect situations. A 40-inch vertical, a 50-inch vertical, doesn't matter if you can't do it in a game. You need to be able to jump wherever and whenever that time comes. The skill development jump program is designed to help you jump better in a game and be a better overall athlete. Why I wanted to be a part of I'm Possible is because it stands for something that most people in society doesn't see as a possibility. When I stand before you with a 50-inch vertical, being able to dunk, to do the things that I can do in the air at 5'10", shouldn't be possible by society's standards. But that's why we're here. That's what I'm Possible means. Because regardless of what you look like, what your height is, you